I'm Joe Robaina of American Cane Self-Defense for Cane Masters, and today, 3 tactical cane self-defense moves for the over 50. We come to the conclusion that we're no longer the fastest, the strongest, or the youngest. So now what? Well, we have this tool that is, the public sees it as a crutch, yet you've been training with it. Now it becomes a tool of empowerment. And so with that in mind, let's take a look. The first thing I want to share with you is a tactical concept, which what we want you to do is be able to prevent a fire. And only if you cannot prevent the fire, then we're going to need you to put it out. But there's value in prevention. You walk into a restaurant, it's late at night, you need to pick up something, you're at a counter, there's not a lot of people there because it's late at night again, and there's a violation. That's a violation of time and place, right? We're human and we can fumble that. And there's an individual that's close by, and he's acting weird, he's looking, we're both looking this way, but that individual, I'm gonna show you what the individual's doing, so you're suddenly over the age of 50. And so I'm over here, and it might look like this. And what I'm exhibiting are pre-attack indicators, meaning everything that an individual who's got bad intentions is going to do before they actually do it. So I'm here, I'm shifting my weight. I made eye contact, making sure that I have a wide open shot. At least that's what I'm seeing. And here's what I'm going to do. See, I've done this before. Look at my distance. I'm going to turn away from, I'm turning away from, I'm shifting my weight, and then I'm coming over here. And you can actually look this up. Don't do it, right? If you're queasy about that, don't go ahead and do it. But it's disgusting to see what happens. You know, this shot just to take their wallet. And so now there's the impact of the blow plus the impact of them hitting their head on the floor. So the first thing is, I ask you, what's good for you? The answer has to be 10 and 2. What am I referring to when I say 10 and 2? I'm referring to the clock. You're 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I'd like to keep everything here. If this individual, if there's something, if they're exhibiting, they're looking that way, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to go ahead and start. See, when she starts moving back, I'm not good with that. The first thing that needs to happen is I need to get out. And if I absolutely cannot get out of here, I'm going to have to go ahead and now I brought her back into my 10 and 2 field of vision. You see how that works? And just that, and just adjusting my distance slightly so that I'm in range with my cane, but she would have to take a big lunge. And I don't have to be looking at her. See, from here, when she winds up, I can go ahead and move. Now, I want to show you this. Go ahead and just extend your arm nice and slow. See how that works? Now, you're going to have to get closer in order to hit me. You're going to have to get closer to actually make contact. See how that works? So my footwork here, I'm not going to stay here, even though I could potentially stop her here. As I move, I'm going to move to that hot spot where that other, and the cane now, if she were going to do anything else, there, see, I'm already to the inside. So it's a simple move. How do you practice this? Well, you practice doing this, right? And striking, making the contact, whether it be on a stack of tires or a heavy bag, doesn't matter. But the move is going to be, I kept her first. Notice what I did. I went from here to here, and that's your first strategy. Step out, because I'm also sending a message. The message is, I'm aware that you might, and unfortunately, I can't leave. So if they are going to go ahead and make a move, there's my strike, and it's to the midline. I'm looking to get out of the way. Another scenario, and that is any time, and that has to do with a grab. And it may be a grab to the same side. It may be because, ladies, you're carrying a purse. It may be, criminal motive is, most of the time we can narrow it down. It's either possession or perversion. I'm moving in here, and there's a grab of some sort. Now, the grab is your heads up to go ahead and move. But I have to be concerned with what's happening, that this is probably what's going to, or the pulling in to pull me in to go ahead and do this. Why? Because they're younger, stronger, fat. When they put their hands on you, they can control. They feel like they're in control. So there's no sense in me playing tug of war. So what I'm going to do is just relax that in here and start bringing this up. So the move is going to be this. This is going to be my first move. The move, what it does is if that shot is coming in, is going to intercept. And as I bring that down, this is already locked. See how she taps out? And as the cane comes by, well, just so happens that her head happens to be in the way. The ribs are exposed, and there I go. And if you want to evaluate the difficulty in the movement, this is what you always do. You just do a walkthrough, and you say, can I do this movement? Let me do that again. So can I do this movement? How difficult is it for me to lift that cane up to here, right where my elbow is up? I'm creating that deflection and then coming down. Because that's really what you're doing here when you're being pulled. You're off the line. She'd be winding up with that arm, which never makes it there. And now I want to create that distance and strike the ribs. Third application would be to focus whenever you have, it doesn't matter. This is a water bottle. This could also be, strategically, this could be piping hot coffee. So that I know if I'm being followed, I know that if I'm being harassed, I'm going in, I go into, I need to purchase a couple items. Well, one of the items suddenly that I'm going to purchase is I'm going to go ahead and take the last of that piping hot coffee. And it's not for drinking. Don't worry about the caffeine keeping you up. You have that here, and anything happens, this thing in here, anybody approaches, this is coming to the eyes, right, as a burn. If it's not that, then we can still use this. This could be a set of keys. It can even be your phone, because all you're looking for is time. You've trained yourself for these situations where now it's coming in. Look at that has to happen. That has to just either catching it. I don't even have to be real fast. Just throwing it up, looking at it. All I'm looking for is when this situation happens, watch my cane. There it is, right? There's the movement. Now, how complicated is that? Well, can I do this with the keys and kind of two hands coming down? Use both hands. You have them now. Because what you had in your hand, this acts as a distraction. It could be my hat. And I do this. Oh, and there it goes. See, she didn't even know that was coming, right? And I'm taking out the wheels, right? You take out the limbs, you win. So it's not all just about, there is tactical concepts that can get you to prevention, the value of being able to prevent a fire. Wow, that's really something. If you absolutely cannot prevent it, then we need you to be able to put it out. But these are applications that should get you thinking a little bit outside the box, that it's not always linear. It's not always linear.